This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth with breaking news on the new Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE. Now, in case you didn't know, back on August 19th, this account, Sir Doge of the Coin, posted this, saying, Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE with a laughing emoji. And Elon Musk chimed in saying, perfect name. In fact, just a couple of hours later, he posted this AI-generated image of himself saying, I'm willing to serve, standing at a podium of the Department of Government Efficiency. And you fast forward to now, and Donald Trump has just made an official statement on this. He says, I'm pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge. Now, in case you're wondering, Doge is a cryptocurrency coin that was released back in the early days of cryptocurrency, not long after Bitcoin, as a joke. It was really to make fun of the cryptocurrency industry in general. It was originally supposed to stand for do only good every day, but now Musk is, slowly changing that into the Department of Government Efficiency because he's always talked about Doge essentially recreating the global reserve currency. In fact, he posted that back as far as 2020 here in this tweet where he says it's inevitable. The Dogecoin standard is just going to completely overcloud the global financial system. And look at where we are here now 4 years later, guys. You got Doge is up by significant percentages. We look at the daily here. Let's take a look at how it's looking on the weekly. Up 100% over the past 7 days. Over the past month, it's up 241%. Over the last year, it's up 416%. And over the last, all time of trading, it's up over 70,000%. An unreal number. And you may notice a massive spike here that happened back in 2021. And what happened here, guys, that spike is when Elon Musk went on Saturday Night Live in 2021 and he first mentioned Doge. All of a sudden you had this massive spike all the way up to like 58 cents. It then had a huge correction, traded sideways for a little while, and now it's spiking back up to eventually reaching all-time highs and is probably going to surpass that. It's currently the #1 trend on Twitter right now, and Elon Musk is already talking about how he's going to capitalize on this, saying the merch is going to absolutely be fire. Now, I don't want to rain down on everybody's parade here, but I have important information to share that was just posted by Peter Schiff, a man I've interviewed a number of times. I don't agree with everything he says, but I certainly agree with what he has to say here. And just listen to this. I hate to rain on this parade, but the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, is not a real department. It exists outside of government, and it has no authority to do anything. Like any one of the number of independent think tanks that already exist, it's free to make any recommendation that it wants, and the government is free to ignore them all. Even if the Trump administration actually proposes some of the DOGE recommendations, they mean nothing unless Congress votes to pass them, which it won't. And again, I'd have to agree with what Peter Schiff is saying here, and I'm going to expand on that. And we're going to touch on this and much, much more, guys, in this video. But really quickly, just before we do, I'd ask that you check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you appreciate my efforts to continuously bring you this breaking news. If you do want to support my efforts, guys, you can contribute PayPal. You can do Bitcoin if you're up in that space right now, or any other cryptocurrencies. You can contribute that there. You can also sign up for a Patreon alternative, a monthly recurring contribution. You can do that at Subscribestar as well by clicking there. You can send an e-transfer to dan@pressfortruth.ca. Thank you so much to everybody who does contribute in that way. You can also send stuff to my P.O. box, guys. Links for all of this are located in the description below. Thank you so much to everybody who takes 1 minute today to support my efforts here at Press for Truth. All right, guys, let's jump into this statement from Donald Trump kind of making it official, even though it's not an official, government agency. He says, I'm pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of Efficiency, or DOGE. Together, these two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies. It sounds like a good idea. Elon Musk was at a rally saying that he has ways to cut $2 trillion from the federal budget without exactly explaining how he's going to do this. But I think this is what maybe piqued the interest of Donald Trump, who says they're now going to go after all this stuff, essentially to, quote, save the American movement. This will send shockwaves through the system, he says, and anyone involved in the government waste, which is a lot of people, slated Mr. Musk. It will potentially become the Manhattan Project of our time, Donald Trump says. Essentially, alluding to this idea that Musk and Vivek are going to unleash a nuclear bomb within the Trump administration here to go after the improper spending is what he's saying here. The Republican politicians have dreamed about this objective of DOGE for a very long time to drive this kind of a drastic change. The Department of Government Efficiency will provide advanced and guidance from outside of the government. Here's the key. And will partner with the White House and the Office of Management and Budget to drive large-scale structural reform and to create an entrepreneurial approach to government that we've never seen before. I look forward to Elon and Vivek making changes to the federal bureaucracy with an eye on efficiency and at the same time making life better for all Americans. Isn't it interesting how they say they're going to restructure and slash federal agencies by creating so-called a new federal agency? I mean, it's a bit of an oxymoron. They say they're going to work together to liberate their economy. Oh, I missed a part. Importantly, we will drive out the massive waste and fraud which exists throughout our annual $6.5 trillion of government spending. They'll work together to liberate our economy, to make the government accountable to we the people. They'll work to conclude no later than July 4th, 2026. A smaller government with more efficiency, less bureaucracy will be the perfect gift to America, he says on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. Again, all these things sound like good things. Smaller government, more efficiency, less bureaucracy. But what kind of things are they going to be going after here? This article, from back in October kind of lays out some of the absent government workforce and how federal workers are getting paid too much on taxpayer dollars. So this is what one might think that the Department of DOGE would be going after. Things like this. Mass government telework has been costing sometimes crooked. At the Commerce Department, nearly a quarter of sampled employees continued to claim residence in Washington or other pricey cities after moving to less expensive places, which let them keep a higher pay level. Senator Ernest has cataloged cases of federal employees golfing, taking bubble baths, and even sitting in jail on Uncle Sam's time. Yet, the Biden administration has stonewalled attempts to learn the scale of the problem. The nonprofit watchdog opened the books, requested location data for federal workers under the Freedom of Information Act, and the administration returned a document with 281,000 redactions, making it impossible to know how many workers have even claimed that they're still in the Capitol. So again, this is the kind of stuff that one would think that the department is going to be going after, but I think you're going to see it's not going to be anything of the sort. And it's eventually going to lead to what's going to amount to more so of a bait and switch type of operation. As we see here, they want to slash excess regulations, cut waste expenditures, and restructure federal agencies. Vivek Ramaswamy says on day one, he will instantly fire 50% of federal bureaucrats. Here's how. If your SSN number ends in an odd number, you're fired. That downsizes government by half. Absolutely nothing will break as a result. It doesn't violate civil service rules because mass layoffs are exempt. Shut it down, he says. And it's kind of funny. I have to agree with my friend Charlie Skelton here, who says, wouldn't it be kind of amazing if Musk and Ramsey just fired each other in a double suicide? Because isn't that what essentially should be happening here if they do hold true to their promise? Well, I want to circle you back to this statement from Peter Schiff, because he absolutely nails it here. He continues to say, since no Democrats will vote in favor of eliminating any government department or agency, except perhaps, the Space Force, the House will need over 98% of the Republican vote. This is nearly impossible to achieve, with so many rhinos still in the House and so many representing swing districts. In the Senate, even if all Republicans vote in favor of the cuts, they still don't have 60 votes. Also, regarding the firing of government workers, the civil service unions make that nearly impossible. The best Trump can do is allow the workforce to shrink naturally through attrition. That will help, but the savings over the course of his term will be minimal. Of course, the nearly impossible task will become completely impossible after the Republicans lose the House in the midterms. That is normal for the party in power. In 2 years, Trump and the Republican will own the economy. With the stagflation firmly entrenched by then, disappointed voters will again vote for change. But as usual, there will be no real change until an actual dollar and sovereign debt crisis finally forces our leaders to act. And again, I'd have to agree with Peter Schiff, and in fact, I would take it one step further, is that what I think a lot of this is leading to, what you see in the rise in the stock market right now, everything, being up, Bitcoin being at all-time record highs, everything is approaching that kind of euphoria feeling, and I think we're essentially being set up for a massive rug pull to come down the pike. I mean, just look at why gold has been rallying so much that it has been. When you see central banks stockpiling gold, that means they are getting ready for the inevitable dollar crash. We know it's coming. It's simply just a matter of time. And as I suggested just one day before the federal selection in the United States, I was talking, issuing a warning, saying this: Ron Paul, the 2024 selection, and the dollar crash that will be blamed on Trump. And my instinct here says that, yes, things are going to continue to rally. Dogecoin is going to continue to skyrocket. Trump is going to do things like pardoning Ross Albright, the hero amongst libertarians and cryptocurrency advocates, because it's an easy thing for him to do to please his base and to get everybody, behind this whole rally, which I think is leading to one of the biggest rug pulls in the history of the world. A lot of economists and analysts talk about the everything bubble. Well, I think the stages are being set now for that to pop and to be blamed on Donald Trump sometime within the next 4 years. So I think we're going to see a lot of volatility within the markets, obviously, over the next couple of years. I think we're going to continue to see, a Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and things of this nature rise, and gold. But I do think we are leading towards an inevitable dollar crash. And if you have your assets or any kind of money or savings in dollars, you have to get them out now. Not only because of rising inflation, but because of the fact that there is an agenda to crash the dollar. And when that happens, things like gold and silver, real, physical, tangible assets, are going to skyrocket. Again, that's why central banks are stockpiling it right now, because they know what is coming down the pike. So I would suggest, if you are holding dollars, get rid of them. If you are holding cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, be prepared to take massive profits or get out entirely sometime probably within the next 6 months. This isn't financial advice. Don't, do your own due diligence and do your own research. But having been involved in this space for quite some time, I'm really getting the sense that all the ducks are being put in a line for a massive rug pull, potentially in 2025 or sometime in the duration of the Trump presidency, to be blamed on him, and to usher in a new global reserve currency that will operate under a digital asset. This is why they're getting you excited about Doge right now, is because of the soon-to-be introduction of a global centralized digital banking currency, or CBDC. That's what this is truly all about, guys. So just wanted to bring all of that to your attention. Once again, if you do appreciate my efforts to do so, don't forget to check me out at pressfortruth.ca/donate. You can, again, click that top link in the description of whatever video platform you happen to be watching this on today, guys. Please check out that video I did one day before the federal selection. Ron Paul and the dollar crash that will be blamed on Trump. Again, I'll put a link to that in the description below. And that's all for today, guys. Just wanted to break all that down for you. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please click the thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth.
We all want truth. The truth will set you free.